Ladies and gentlemen, today's show is going to be a very serious topic matter. Something that I discovered last night, about 3 a.m. in the morning, actually. And what I discovered is no matter how I search the words riots in New York today, riots in Los Angeles today, current riots in New York, riots in Chicago today, current riots in Chicago today, every news article that will pop up on the screen if you Google those words will bring you to news articles from June 3rd, the month of June 6th, and the third day of June. Current news, riot today, in any way, shape, or form. Why the news articles date back to June 3rd. So what I did is I took those same words, riots today in New York, current riots today in Los Angeles, as I just described in Google, but then I took those same word phrases and put them in a YouTube search engine. And on that YouTube search engine, it brings you to articles from June 3rd, 2020. So YouTube news somehow is synchronized with the called up Warren in Australia. And I was talking to Warren. That's why I was late on my live stream. And I asked Warren to put those word phrases in his Google search box or search engine, whatever he's using. And Warren's news articles differed slightly. They had news articles from June 2nd to June 11th, every between. And the word phrase that I previously described all brought him to the same outdated by 2.5 to 3 old news articles. In one case, I Googled the riots currently happening in New York today. And that page is completely bizarre. That page brought me to riots going back to the year 2008 in regards to a gay pride parade, a gay pride parade. So that search brought me back to 12 links, and of those 12 links, 7 of them had to do with gay pride parade to 2014 or 15, and then they gave link to the police officers who are gay. It gave links for gay or that took place in the pride parade. But my point is that when I Googled riots today in America currently, it brought me to news articles going back to 2008 for gay pride parades, and 7 of the 12 links had to do with gay pride, and the other 5 had nothing to do but with riots ranging from Los Angeles and other years gone by, but nothing to do today. So, and not find a single article, even if I put in New York Post, riots in New York today, it brings me to June 3rd articles or thereabouts, June 2nd, June 5th. So no matter what I do, I get there's a way to find out what today's riots are by the word phrasing itself that I just described should have brought me via Google riots in New York today search, but it's bringing me to 6 straight. So let me explain to you my opinion about that. There is no doubt in my mind that agenda for the year 2021, which I downloaded years ago, is now occurring, where all the facets necessary to implement total control. See, was instituted in Rio de Janeiro in 1992. It was signed on that day by 179 nations, and all of these nation states would agree to collaborate on how to control the water quality, the ocean, anything that had to do control of foods and food production. It all amassed, if you read the entire agenda of the year 2021, venues or aspects of it directly linked to control of gasoline, waterways, reservoirs, food supplies, food suppliers, population control, to remove people from sparsely populated places like in the country and to move them into cities where they would have total control. Which brings me to a point that what is called martial law. So in order to where you can control them, and that is one of the major aspects of the agenda for the year 2021. They also needed a catalyst to get people into control. And they toyed around with many different concepts. But now, if you'll notice, Bill Gates, who's the head of now vaccinations worldwide, apparently, person in the world. He's not talking locally in the United States. He's talking about every person in the world must be vaccinated. And that's where we're at. You try to Google that stuff and see what happens. And it looks like we have a troll here. Let's see what we have on the screen here. No, Pedro Rojas Cervantes. He's been a long time subscriber and a friend to the channel. Thank you for stopping by, Pedro. Yes, and the Philippines experience. Welcome to the machine, Gary, my friend. Oh my God. I'm sorry I wasn't looking. I do my meditations in the beginning. I hope that you're still here. Gary from the Philippines experience put out a video this morning. It's a little over 19 minutes. And let me tell you, his videos are unbelievably cool. Okay, so the video starts off Shah riding a tricycle. Now, this is a woman, a very pretty woman, by the way, operating a tricycle and talking on a little speakerphone at the same time. And she pulls up in front of a store. And this is the part that I like. She's in front of the store, and Shah is showing how the store is being expanded. And she's in the background, you see two men working. And one man is shoveling the excess concrete off the deck, the cement floor, with a round shovel. And I find it amazing that this is a uniform way of working with concrete in the Philippines. No one in the concrete industry uses a round shovel to move cement on a flat concrete surface if they have a square shovel. And I made note of that. But in the Philippines, no one that moves cement on a flat surface owns or uses a shovel. So that's at the 3-minute and 20-second mark of Gary's The Philippines Experience current video. Then at 19 minutes, somebody left a comment that there's a fly on the rice that owns the rice because the fly kept coming back. Shah moved that fly away quite a few times up till that point in the video. And that is the one thing that I don't like living in the Philippines and eating in restaurants about. There's no control over the flies. There's no fly catching machines, or you don't see sticky tapes hanging from the ceiling near the kitchen or whatever. There's a big fly population in the Philippines, and it won't hurt you if you ate the fly, and it probably wouldn't hurt you if you ate a bunch of flies. But the fact that flies fly on things that are probably not healthy for you to ingest, there's flies in the Philippines, and there's no way around it. So, and then at the end, Shah gets back on the tricycle and she drives away. But it's like a really cool video. So if you're not familiar with the Philippines Experience, and this is a Filipina woman who Gary has intentions on marrying, that is doing the entire video by herself. She did a great job, Gary. If you're out there or anybody else, she's very open and very bubbly and high-spirited. And actually, she's actually a really good video maker. So you got a plus there, Gary. That was a great video. Thank you. Let me get back to the comments. Yeah, the Philippines Experience. That's a channel that you're going to want to check out if you want to see what a really upbeat, high-spirited Filipina looks like, that can speak clear English and pronounces the words. Even at some part of the video of Gary, the Philippines Experience video, she says, in the background, the men are using a chainsaw. So not only does she know how to speak English, but she knows the words and pronounces them perfectly. The men in the background, they're using a chainsaw. That's like, I'm looking at that, I'm going, that's amazing. She said that as clear as day. I wish I could give it more thumbs up. Jack Thompson, here comes the boom. Yeah, baby, says Warren. The Philippines Experience. Gary, welcome to the machine. And Gary is now exchanging amenities with my group of friends. And I want to make a note about something about the group of friends that we have here on YouTube, on this channel here, and in our regular daily uploads. I just have a small group of friends, but we are and have become friends. So when I say that we talk offline as much as they spend online watching me and helping me with the wrenching and stuff like that, I had a conversation with Big E yesterday. And you might know him as Big E in Cebu channel. And yesterday we spoke for about 45 minutes, maybe a little bit less, a little bit more. We talked about where he is right now and what he's doing, which is none of anybody's business. But we also talked about what channel he watches. And he watches my channel whenever he can. And he made note that of all the channels on YouTube, my channel and my group of friends seems to be the only channel that has a long-term working friendship relationship between the members of the channel and myself. And I never thought about it like that. I mean, I do regard everybody as friends because we don't just talk online. We actually talk real life about some real things. Plus, it expands a little bit further than what you see the people coming to my channel. But he said that of all the channels, that Hoodwinked by an Angel is the only channel on YouTube that has a tight-knit group of friends. And I really appreciated that. It was really nice. So, Big E, if you're out there, thank you for that compliment. I'm going to go to the comment. Oh, God. Oh, God, here come the taxes. Jack is screwing up the works. Boy, what I'm going to have to do to you people that are super chatting me, I'm going to have to add, when I go Tuesday to the BIR, I'm going to have to find out what the tax is. And this is going to be like the Abbott and Costello, give me half of your P video, or, television show. Because if Jack super chats me $4.99, right? Thank you very much. Then I'm going to have to charge Jack a tax on $4.99. So let's say the tax of $5 is 25%. I don't know what the tax is, but let's just work it out at 25%. So then Jack is going to have to pay the tax on the $4.99, which is like the Abbott and Costello, give me half of your P. And so then Jack would owe me an additional, he would be beholden, owe me 125 pesos for the tax. So then Jack would have to send me another 125 pesos to make up for the tax for the super chat that he sent that I didn't ask for. So when Jack sends me the 125 pesos, then I'm going to have to pay tax on that. And then that will be an additional 30 plus pesos for the tax. So like the Abbott and Costello, give me half of that P that you have on your plate, says Abbott to Lou. And now he sends me 30 pesos, and then he owes me 16 or 50. Well, he owes me 7.5 more pesos. And then he has to send me an additional 7.5 pesos. And then Abbott says to Lou, give me half of your P. And it's going to go down, and it's called Occam's razor by another terminology, that you can just keep halving something to infinity. So it's like an Occam's razor and like a Bud Abbott and Lou Costello live skit. Oh God! More taxes, baby. Let them rolling in taxes. 625 from Warren H. Where he came up with that number. He did that. I know why Warren did that. He did that to see if I could figure out the tax on 625, which is, if it was 25%, that would be $1.50 and plus 6.25. So it'd be $1.56, $1.56.25 in Australian money. I am good at math, and so is the Bureau of Internal Revenue Service. So keep them taxes coming, baby. Warren, you owe me $1.56.25 for the taxes on that super chat. And now we have somebody coming in, sneaking in at $10, sneaking in 10 experience. He gives me an easy one. Thank you, Gary. More taxes. Now, Gary, if you don't know, was one of the first people that ever super chatted me about a year and a half ago. And Gary super chatted me at more than, I think it was $175 a year and a half ago, as soon as super chat came on. And I knew who he was, but I wasn't so friendly or familiar with Gary at the time. So Gary, welcome to the machine, and thank you, Gary. He has been I think he was the first person that ever super chatted me, and I know he was the first person that ever super chatted me $100. That I remember. Or was it 150? It was a large amount of money. So Gary's taxes due, but we're going to hold back. This is an easy one. 25% of $10 is $2.50. Then 25% of that would be 25 and 25 is 50, and 12.5, that'd be 60, 62.5 cents on that. and 25% of that. I could go on forever. I'm really good at math. And so is the Bureau of Internal Revenue Service. So thank you, Gary. Salamat. So again, if anybody is here watching this live stream, I would seriously suggest, if you want to see a very attractive Filipina who speaks perfect English, who has very high intellect, do videos on her own. Normally, when Gary is in the Philippines, they do them together. I would highly recommend that you go to the Philippines Experience channel and check out his future wife, Sha, S-H-A, her video from today, which is just amazing. I have never seen a Filipina build a video from start to finish. And the thing that really that gained a lot of respect from anybody who watches the video, it has to do this, is that Shah onto the driver's seat of a tricycle, starts it up and motors it down the road with either right hand or left hand, in total control of the vehicle and total awareness of where she is on the road and what's going on around her. That is something that you just don't see every day. Now, the reason that I make mention of that is I have been in the Philippines now 6.5 years, and I have only seen one commercial tricycle driver that is a woman. And I only saw her at 4:30 at a certain, she always came back from wherever she was going home at 4:30, and she would go right past our house in Alona Beach, and Daisy and I would get on to go to the Zumba at 6. So, but Shah is the second only woman I've ever seen drive a tricycle in the Philippines. Now, I may have seen a woman tricycle driver, but I don't know that they were a woman tricycle driver. But Shah is the only woman I've ever seen get on one, start it up, ride it with confidence, left hand or right, and make a video from the tricycle. The video wasn't before and after, it was during, plus. It was an amazing video. I thank you, Gary, and thank you very much for posting that video. And boy, I got to tell you, Gary got himself a wonderful woman there, and I'm not kidding about that. She speaks perfect pronunciation of English. Very, very good tricycle driver, total awareness when she's driving the tricycle. The conversation she has with the woman in the restaurant, very, very clear and precise in her language, but very clear and precise. And then it's just an amazing video all around. So if you're not familiar with Gary, the Philippines Experience channel,